all blocked out. I got it all blocked out. The boys to the exit, and the bitches to the exit. Every motherfucking exit. You
Welcome to the Dumbfounded Dipshits Podcast. 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 I am finishing. What?
I just said podcast when you said podcast.
Oh, nice. I am about to finish the movie Trap. So give me a second, guys. I'm fast forwarding through it at the end. Ryan said it wasn't a bad movie. We have a friend Lou. I kind of Lou watched it, which means I kind of skip through all the blah blah blah, just get to the meat and potatoes of the film. And
it's like speed reading a movie, pretty much.
The acting isn't bad at all. It's just the plot is not great, in my opinion.
I was telling you before we started the pod, I thought that them making him a bad guy for once was sort of a breath of fresh air.
The chick that plays his wife, I like her because she's in the show Newsroom. I like that show, but is he gonna kill her? He's got zip ties. Oh, he's got zip ties for his wife. Sorry, if you never saw this movie, I do apologize if I'm ruining it for you.
No, you want to spoil it for people. That's why you're fucking watching it while we're doing the pod, because you have a desire. You have like an inner desire to spoil movies for people. Well, guess what?
They're tasing him and it's not working.
I saw Beetlejuice yesterday.
Oh, how was that?
I enjoyed it.
I heard it was utter shit.
Not utter shit. It was literally just like it's like not a seamless like sequel, but it's very much like the first movie. You know what I mean? Like they really tried to stick to that motif.
I like the chick that's in it too. What's her face?
Jenna Ortega.
Yes.
She was good, and she. Spoiler alert: she doesn't believe in ghosts, and that's the funny part of the movie is that she's a skeptic. You know what I mean? Being what her family had gone through. So, and Michael Keaton, I was just saying this to my wife the other day that I missed him in movies. And
what do you mean? He was in Spider-Man.
But what I'm saying is he did a movie called Multiplicity back in
great movie. That was a great movie.
Mid-90s. He didn't do any movies from then until almost Spider-Man. Like he did like a couple of movies leading up into him becoming the Vulture and Spider-Man.
What about the indie movie he did, Hawkman or something?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, where he played. There was that other one that he did, where he plays the mascot, or he's like a guy in a suit or something like that.
Huh? I don't remember that one.
He did those two movies. Yeah, there's one that was like I think nominated for Oscars. With Ed Norton, wasn't he in a movie with Ed Norton? Anyway, so he did them like more recently, like in the last decade, and then he got all these other roles back, coming back as Batman and now Beetlejuice. But he didn't do anything for like 15 years. I felt like Michael Keaton didn't do shit. And he used to be in a lot of movies when I was growing up, not to sound like a fucking boomer, or an old person, but he was just in a lot of shit. He was in Mr. Mom. He was fucking, you know what I mean?
You know his name isn't really Michael Keaton, right? It's Michael
Douglas. Yeah.
Why he changed
his agent told him that you're not going to get work as Michael Douglas.
Birdman. He did the movie Birdman in 2014. The Founder in 2016. Both those movies I saw. He was in The Flash.
Yeah, as Batman. He came back as
American Assassin in 2017. Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming in 2017. So from 2017 to like now, he didn't really do anything until Beetlejuice.
But did he do anything from 2000 to 2010? No. He didn't do anything after Multiplicity, and that came out in like 96 or something, right? When did Multiplicity come out?
Let's see. Well, I'll just share this. I hear myself.
In my opinion, I thought Beetlejuice was good. And I'm sorry, I like nostalgic shit. You know what I mean? Like, people fucking demonize yourself. What the fuck? Like, you know what? Like, there are people who like to read old books. What the fuck is the difference then, like, if there's still an actor who's still around and you just want to see an old actor come back and reprise a role? They didn't need to do much makeup on him because they made him look haggard in the fucking
Multiplicity. Multiplicity.
96.
Then he did Jackie Brown.
Jack Frost. And Jack Frost was a bomb. where he plays a snowman.
Out of Sight. Apparently, he was in that. Body Shots, Shots of Glory, A Shot of Glory, Quicksand, First Daughter. Oh, he did White Noise, that horror movie. I saw that in theaters.
Oh yeah, White Noise. I saw that in a theater too. Do you know?
Oh, don't forget Herbie Fully Loaded. Don't forget that. You know,
that's garbage. That's all garbage. He's not getting cast in anything good. After he does White Noise is probably the last good movie that they cast him in, and they didn't cast him in anything good for like 10 years. See, I mean, okay,
3, bro.
Oh, yeah. So he did a voice in Toy Story 3, but I mean, as like a lead. Do you know what I mean?
He's in there.
Not a lead though. He plays the captain. They don't. I mean, cast him as a lead.
He was in RoboCop.
Yeah, he played like the scientist or some shit.
Oh no, he was in Need for Speed.
Whack.
Here, Birdman is what he almost won an Oscar for, I think, or did he win an Oscar?
Yeah. So from 2000, so check this out. White Noise, 2005. From 2005 to 2014, he wasn't in anything of substance. That's what I mean. That's what how my memory serves me.
Beetlejuice.
And it was good. And I felt like they tastefully, because obviously the guy who plays the dad is not in it because he's in prison for fucking CP, right? So obviously they have to write him off, and I think they did a creative way of writing him off. The guy who played the original father, Dietz, Mr. Dietz, from the original Beetlejuice, is in prison for CP. He's the principal from Bueller's Day Off. Do you know the actor I'm talking about?
Yes, he's in. Really?
Yeah. Yo, if this is good for content, let's see your reaction when you find out that shit is real.
Hold on. Charles Dietz?
The guy who played Charles Dietz in the original Beetlejuice, that actor. And he was also the principal in Ferris Bueller. Yes, he's in prison for CP.
Holy shit. Who would have known our beloved celebrities are also pedophiles? Who would have known?
This is the thing. What I think is like, yeah, maybe he was a pedo too. Maybe he was, and he was peddling pedo shit. But who was he selling the CP to? If he was like, you know what I mean? Like if that was his thing, there's got.
Yeah, wow. He was charged with soliciting a minor to pose for nude photographs. He pleaded no contest. Wow.
Yep. So obviously he's not in the movie. So they creatively, not giving out a spoiler, like Mike, who likes to spoil movies, his inner deep desire to spoil movies for people.
Didn't I do this to you? Weren't we watching what were we watching?
Like Infinity shit.
And I turned to you with my phone in my hand. And I go, I just read the entire Wikipedia. I could tell you exactly who disappears from the snap. And you're like, shut the fuck up now.
And right before they did it was like right before the scene switched, Spider-Man. I was like, shut up. And Spider-Man goes, I'm like, no, you son of a bitch.
I said it before each character. And Lou and you, and I sat between Lou and you, and you both wanted to kill me.
Yeah. Fucked up, bro.
And you and Lou were like, why do you have to do that? I was like, because I don't like surprises. Fuck that. Tell me.
I sort of like the surprise. Oh. Are we going to start with this? All right.
I don't even know what it is.
So
I don't know, but one of the comments says raw egg is probably the healthiest thing she's had in her mouth in a long time. Wow.
Okay. Oh my God. That was easy.
Was that a hard-boiled egg? What?
It's a marshmallow. It's a marshmallow. Those are both marshmallows.
How do you do it?
Are they drunk? I don't know why it's so fucking funny.
Ready?
She threw it out. What? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Gagging like that when you're smoking a cigarette? Fuck out of here.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
she puked. She puked. She popped.
The egg, bro. Oh no.
That's a good position though, especially if she's behind. Can't fight back.
Yo,
Wow.
the egg was epic. That was fucking so fucked up.
Also, she's not wearing the same. She's a mess. This girl's a mess. She's not wearing the same socks. Salmonella.
Her immediate reaction is the fucking bro. Immediate reaction. Oh,
wait a
epic.
second.
Did you hear this story?
No, the Naples mayor was arrested for DUI after a road rage incident following a couple home.
Yeah, so a couple, I guess, cut her off, and she deemed it necessary to follow them and then cut them off and then terrorize them as they were driving up a street. And then that couple called 911 and said, somebody who says they're the mayor, it just keeps cutting us off and it's trying to run us off the road. And then the cops show up, and it is the actual mayor of the town of Naples.
And they arrest her.
I don't know. I have to cite her. Maybe they arrest her. I don't know what happened, but let's watch. There's a video and some stills, I guess. So.
I think the mayor is drunk, and she just literally up, and she just drove over our mailbox, and she was.
Hey, 911. The mayor is outside my house, and they're running over my mailbox. Can you send help?
Literally almost running into my Jeep and followed me home, and now she's standing outside talking to me face to face. Seems intoxicated.
I'm not.
And I don't know who she is. She's claiming to be the mayor. So, yeah, she's parked in front of the house and is upset that I called you guys.
Oh, yeah. I'm not. What?
Why did you follow us home? Why did you pull into our grass? No, we didn't. We're driving down 3rd Street, and we saw you slam on the brakes and give yourself a headache because you almost ran us over.
911, what is your emergency?
Yeah.
Now,
I like to do, if you're comfortable with it,
now watch this.
is to put you through some field sobriety exercises to make sure that you're not intoxicated.
No, I'd be happy to do that.
Okay.
But I will tell you, I have done nothing wrong, except for 2
I have done nothing wrong. I'm just not at my resident and running over mailboxes.
Aside from stalking 2 people, she stalked 2 people.
Comfortable with it, is to put you through some field sobriety exercises to make sure that you're not intoxicated.
I'd be happy to do that.
Okay.
But I will tell you, I have done nothing wrong, except for 2 people who cut me off.
I like to do, if you're comfortable.
It's not the whole thing.
But it's still, pretty funny.
It's hilarious.
We haven't had one of those in a while. At least not in the news. It's, remember the guy from fucking Toronto back in the day who got caught fucking
doing crack?
Doing crack? And what about the mayor of D.C. He got caught doing crack too? Just doing crack with a hooker, actually.
That's the way to do crack. If you smoke crack, you better be with a hooker.
Crack and hookers. It's like, cinnamon buns.
NFL player Dr. Sherillis relieved himself onto an elderly woman forcing the plane back to Logan Airport.
I glanced up at him. I thought at first he was just going to expose himself. And then he,
Harmful, harmless, right? He said that sort of harmless. He's just going to expose himself. I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, I didn't really mind.
And he started to urinate.
He appeared in court facing multiple charges.
So the exposure wasn't the problem. It was the urination when it became a problem.
It was when it made contact, I think.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe if he was pissing and it didn't hit her, maybe she wouldn't give so much of a shit. She would have just been like, meh. If he just pissed in the aisle and didn't really hit anybody, maybe a little bit of it splashed up on her, but she's not like really mad because it's not direct hit. You know what I mean? But because it directly hit her, I think.
Orderly conduct and resisting arrest.
He fully emptied his bladder on me.
How do you know that? How do you know you didn't pinch it off real quick at the end?
He shook, and it was just drops. It was just drops because he emptied. She probably was just frozen and just let him. What if he just Austin Powered on her? What if it was just he was just shooting prostate streams at her, just squirt, 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 and then just shook it on her. Maybe that's how she knew he finished. Maybe he shook it on her, he just give it the whole 1-2.
Response to the accusations, Sherillis posted this on Instagram, saying in part, quote, "I took a sleeping medication that I don't normally use, which resulted in behavior that is not representative of my character and I would like to apologize to the passengers and flight crew.
He's blaming Ambien. He's blaming Ambien.
You know what's fucked up though? It's actually 100% possible that it was the fault of the drug. It's actually
it happens to a lot of people.
I'm not saying that's the case here, but it is possible that's what happened. I know people that take that and they wake up with like food on their hands, like how what and they raided their fridge in the middle of the night when they were on it.
Yes, or people walk out of their house like while they're on Ambien. Like if people would be like, I literally woke up in my backyard. You know what I mean? Like after taking Ambien, like people just like it's a different kind of blackout. Oh, all right. So it's now football season, as you now know by the title of the episode. And me and Mike, we are both in a fantasy league, which Mike is the reigning champ from last season, who auto-drafted that whole team, by the way, which is pretty fucking impressive, Mike. To just not give a shit that much and still be a winner.
I auto-drafted this year, too.
Do you have faith? Or you say you're not doing good week one, right? But you didn't.
I lost the first 4 games last season.
Last season, yeah.
Now, I didn't auto-draft the same way I did last season, because last season it was an unintentional auto-draft where I'm sitting there on like a Tuesday night or whatever night it was. I'm hanging out by myself, and I go, "What? There's something I'm supposed to do today." And it started at 8 or something, or 7. I think it was probably 8. I don't know, whatever it was. I don't remember. But then I remember going, "What was I supposed to do?" And I'm watching TV, and I go, "Oh my god, the fantasy football draft is today. Let me log in." I log in, and I'm already on pick 10. And I'm like, oh my god, the first 10 picks were all auto drafted.
But you probably it probably picked pretty decent, at least the first 10
available.
Yeah, because they use AI, so it's like sort of cheating. So what
I did this season is I just set it to cheating. Set it to auto draft.
Yeah.
This way, instead of making everyone wait the 3 minutes, it waits like a minute before making my pick.
Yeah. I'm not really a hater, by the way. Actually, I had 2 of my players because I had a back-to-back pick. They were auto-drafted in the league we're in because I had 2 drafts at one time. I was simultaneously drafting.
Yeah, I don't like how that works because you get first pick, right? You had first pick.
Yeah, so when it came back around, I had back-to-back picks because it.
Yeah, and we both rotated back between us. You got back-to-back picks, and I got back-to-back. Yeah, and I'm like, this is fucking annoying.
It worked out in my favor. I got most of the guys that I want because the guys, and I did, strategically pick up drafted my backup quarterback when I did so I could get the name because I was able to draft Brandon Ayuk, right, from San Francisco. And so I picked up as my backup quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, who actually performed pretty well. So the name of my team is the Ayuk Tua Girls.
That's.
So I think I win automatically by name alone this season.
That's a pretty good name.
and in the other league, I have White as my running back and Pollard as my running back. So it's White Pollard Criminals.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I like my fantasy name game. I think is very strong.
So what's going on here?
Where were you guys at?
So apparently I didn't draft this guy.
I had him last year.
Last year is the year to have him. That's why you won fantasy, is because of guys like him on your team.
Absolutely.
Not this season, because contract's up, buddy. TikTok, September 28th is the breakup contract, and the papers had leaked. But the rumors have been refuted by both of them. So, but once they break up, his fantasy value is going down.
Wait. So what's the rumor that they have a contract that they're only supposed to date for this amount of time and then they break up at this date? So it's a fake relationship.
Allegedly. There's a lot of legs on that alleged. There's allegedly. Because a lot of people are like, yes, no. This is all sus from the beginning because we're all saying, oh, this is like an industry plant sort of like PR stunt that works really well for them because now you have daughters who are in fantasy leagues with their dads. You know what I mean? And kids who are in fantasy leagues with their dads because
Have we ever seen them kiss? Oh, there we go. They're kissing. Oh, he looked like he wanted more, and she was like, no, I'm not having that.
Nah, they definitely, they've kissed. Holy shit! Did I send that to you too? Oh yeah, I get a lot of my news from World Star, by the way, guys.
Let me get this straight. So Kim Jong Un executed his 20 officials because of a
30. Yeah, apparently there was a 20.
Well, it says in the notes reported on Tuesday that North Korea authorities sentenced between 20 and 30 individuals.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
because to prevent deadly flooding. Wow.
There was an infrastructure fail, major one that could have been probably prevented, and the people who were in charge of the upkeep for that got like fucking executed after the dam failed, and probably killed a lot of people. Right, killed 4,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, listen, okay, Kim Jong Un is fucking batshit fat man crazy, right? He's got onset diabetes dementia. You know what I mean? Like he's got dementia from the diabetes, right? And you know he's got like bloated ankles. So all I'm saying is that he's a little unhinged. Also, you know what I But
I think he's the perfect example of a healthy North Korean.
Now, that being said, right? Let's just say you were like that's just what they do in the United States. It's like you would get 30 years in prison. You know what I mean? Or you would go to jail anyway. So that's just how they take care of you in North Korea. I don't know. Is that like because 4,000 people died because maybe like something that could have been prevented. Was it
a natural disaster or was it something they fucked up?
4,000 sounds like a lot of people, probably in like a valley type area that got probably obliterated once a dam wall fell. You know,
yeah, but
filled up the valley.
North Korea. How do we even get this information?
I mean, you know what? Like, believe it or not, like nobody gains anything from that information whatsoever. And China definitely knows what the hell is happening inside North Korea. And I believe a lot of our news comes out of the countries around North Korea. You know what I mean? A lot of intelligence does get out. You know, and I think a lot of these stories have to be corroborated by other countries' intelligence before they actually could become news.
If you're a non-American, you can visit North Korea. They let, just like the kid from, was it Sweden or something that came back brain dead? Or was that American? Was that an American?
Well, I think didn't they film executions? They filmed that they executed that one guy with a missile. Do you remember that? Where he fired the rocket at the dude and obliterated. That guy exploded into bits, dude, like pieces.
I mean,
there's video of that.
You know,
so you don't believe that he killed just like a Saddam Hussein kind of thing?
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying that wasn't there a student that went there to visit and stole some of the propaganda, and then they put him in prison, and then when they released him, he was basically brain dead.
Oh, like lobotomy? Whoa, yeah. Wait, that's a real thing? That's not like just like a rumor?
No, I think. Hold on.
An American? He did that to an American?
I thought he was
like a European kid or
something. Yeah,
European kid. Yeah. Or like he's not.
No, it was an American student.
Okay, and what happened to him? Like what happened to his brain? Like what happened?
American. Here, let me back us down here. Otto Frederick Warmbier was an American college student who was imprisoned in North Korea in 2016 on charges of subversion.
I guess that's all like what you said. You said propaganda, right? Like handing out pamphlets is subversion. Yeah.
In June 2017, he was released by North Korea in a vegetative state and soon died after.
Oh, yeah. I remember this. So, okay, the guy came back to them, but the thing is they don't know whether or not he like went into like a coma because he was like sick from something because of neglect, or if he like legit was like brain scrambled. Wouldn't there be an ME that did like an autopsy on him after the fact, especially if he came from like North Korea? If you know, like, wouldn't the family consent to something like that, and there'd be proof that he had his brain scrambled, like, or that they gave him they chemically, you know, sort of veggie. You know,
the coroner's report stated that he died from an unknown injury causing lack of oxygen to the brain.
They beat him.
The non-invasive internal scans did not find any signs of fractures in his skull.
Well, something happened. He got concussed. You could still not break your skull and get concussed bad enough to die. Your brain can hemorrhage. You know what I mean? Like that's a fucking thing that happens. You know.
They were celebrating New Year's in North Korea.
He could have also, the unknown injury could mean just sickness, and then he had like a brain swell and died from that. You know.
He was arrested for stealing a poster from the hotel.
He was arrested for stealing a poster?
Yeah.
Is that legit? Like, what was the poster of? Was it like a photo of his dad or grandfather or some shit?
I don't know. Okay.
That's pretty wild.
Okay.
If that's why you got beat to death, or that's why you died in a North Korean prison, was it because you pulled a poster off the wall? The kid who got Singapore cane back in the day in the 90s, you know, in Singapore, that dude was doing graffiti, and they lashed his ass, I think, like a dozen times or something like that.
Only lashed it. They didn't brain scramble him.
No, they just whooped him, and like I think you could watch it too. I think like it was like sort of like a public thing. Like they'll watch it. I think you're bare ass, bare back, and they whip you with like a bamboo cane.
Nice.
You know, like I think it looks similar to like what they used in wrestling back in the day. Do you remember like the Singapore cane in ECW?
Yes.
And in like hardcore matches. So I think he got hit with something that looked like that, like about 12 times. But if you get hit with one for real, the lash from it actually could break your skin, or your skin will swell up and then scar. Like you'll get lash marks on your back for life.
So moving on real quick to the next one. What is Shia LaBeouf up to? What's going on here?
Speaking about violence. All right. After I saw this, can I just say this, right? After I saw this, I tried to have like a real critique on this. And after seeing Shia LaBeouf's like just his body language and stuff, I felt like he was threatened. Right. And I sort of felt like if I saw Shia LaBeouf in the street squaring up on some young kids, I might come to his aid and be like, yo, Shia, I got you, Shia. I got you, Shia. I might take his back because it looked like, I don't know, like out of context, it sort of looked like he needed the help.
Is there a video? Let's see.
Yeah. You guys.
You're home now. This is where you're fit. You know, you're from London. There's a you're forever now. You know, you live here. You're gonna live here for ages. Right. That's your house now. It's done. I'll do that. It's just like brutal change in your accent. You know, like you managed to like see like apart from that one wee bit.
What? I don't get it. He just
London. A man
just going
it's
shit.
not like, you know, like your accent. I wouldn't be tell. But it's like the thing is that, you know, like, generally like Scottish people like like, you know, like nah, but
Yeah, I think I got Shia's back. I feel like he gets a lot of shit nowadays, and I feel like, you know, he needs the support. I think if I seen him squaring up in the street, I might. I think I might be like, I got your back, Shia. You know, he's given me way too many movies that I liked with him in it.
What movies?
What was the Holes? Remember Holes?
Okay. What other movie?
Transformers 1 was really good. I like that one. There was one that took place with him and and Hardy and Tom Hardy. The one where they're like, I think bootleggers. The fuck was that movie? That was really good. All joking. I know I said like fucking, you know, a couple of tossaways like Transformers, but what the fuck was the name of that movie?
You definitely said some tossaways like Transformers just now.
Yeah, no, but there was a movie he did with Tom Hardy where they're bootleggers in like, you know, like Prohibition time. The fuck, man. Damn, and he did a Western, didn't he? I fucking I watch like, dude, I'll just get stoned and just put on fucking like Westerns, you know, like cowboy movies and just
have
chill,
you seen Unforgiven? Was it Unforgiven? Was that the name of the one? It was a good movie.
When it came out in '92 and it won the Oscar, and I think I watched it on VHS rental like the next year when it came out, and I liked it. Gene Hackman was in it. Gene Hackman was fucking kept trying to build that house that was like practically falling apart because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. But that was hilarious. There were background jokes in those movies that like you wouldn't normally catch like as a kid. Like I watched it because I thought it was a cowboy movie when I was younger. You know what I mean? But as an adult, like they really do throw a couple of bits in there for you. I think I watched like fucking The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly for like the 20th time.
The Good, the Bad, the Ugly is a great movie.
Like 2 weeks ago. I watched the end. Like I've watched the end of the movie probably hundreds of times. Just the last, after he gives the Civil War soldier who's dying that last smoke, and then when they start playing the Ecstasy of Gold, like while the guy, what's his name, Eli Wallach or whatever his name is, when he's running through the cemetery, from that point to the very end of the movie, when he throws the noose around the dude's neck, that whole sequence is. I watch that. I could watch that over and over and over again.
What's the one? Oh, The Quick and the Dead with the Sam Raimi movie.
Sam Raimi made that really good, and I like his style too. The fast cameras and stuff. Another Gene Hackman and fucking Leonardo DiCaprio and fucking Sharon Stone.
Yep, Leonardo DiCaprio plays that.
Russell Crowe was the hero. Him and Sharon Stone were the heroes in that story. Remember?
Yep, Russell Crowe's the man in that fucking movie.
Yeah.
What is this?
What is this? Oh, this guy. You follow this guy? This guy's pretty cool.
Adam West and Burt.
No, I don't think I follow him.
He drops random knowledge. You should follow him. Cody Tucker.
Became famous in the 60s for their portrayal of Batman and Robin. They were also equally infamous in Hollywood for their off-screen debauchery. This included Adam West sleeping with up to 8 women a day. 2 of those women were Natalie Wood and Raquel Welch.
Nice.
One time, Adam West slept with so many women in the city of Aspen, Colorado, that this city banned him from returning.
Wow.
For another 15 years. Adam West was having sex between scenes, on lunch breaks, pretty much every chance he got.
I mean,
legendary. Is that like?
Well, it was not.
I don't blame him at all.
He's fucking Batman. He's the OG Batman.
No,
he's the first Batman.
He's not fucking Batman. Batman's getting fucked.
Uncommon for there to be an actual line of women waiting outside of Adam West's dressing room.
Wow.
Sometimes starting as early as 7 in the morning. One of the most insane stories involving Adam West's escapades involved Adam West and the actor Frank Gorshin, played the Riddler on the Batman series, attending an orgy together. They were both kicked out of said orgy because both of them kept pretending to be in character the entire time. Adam West and Burt Ward became famous in the 60s for their...
Wow.
Imagine.
I can imagine.
Like he's like laughing like the Riddler, and he's like Batman, and he's like pretending like he has a cape with nothing else on, and he's just like this at the orgy. It's like fucking, that's hilarious. That's like, you know, like when you hear stories of like Roman debauchery and you're hearing all this out, like I have to Adam West has been dead for a little while. You know what I mean? But he was also of Family Guy fame. Remember, he used to do the voice of the mayor of Quahog.
Mm-hmm. Incredible.
What's next? What do we got? Oh shit! Yeah. So
I saw this too, but didn't we watch a previous video a while ago that was like there's weird noises in space in general, and they've always reported these weird noises in space.
Yeah, and there could be things that are just like interfering with like just how gases are moving around, and that's what you're hearing reverberate through the hull. But you know, because it's supposed to be there's no sound in space because it's a vacuum, but you're not at like full vacuum height yet, or vacuum height. Like you're not far enough away from the atmosphere floating around there to be out of like gravity's grasp. You know what I mean? And even still, you're in Earth's gravity's field when you're out to even the moon. So when you're far enough out where it's so fucking thin, then it should be silent.
People don't understand that. When you're out by the moon is being held by our gravity. So when you're out by the moon, you're still within the gravitational field of Earth.
Of the Earth, to be pulled into it. So, but when you're out that far, it should be silent because then there is no gas really that's being held dense enough for white waves to go through. Like, so when you're out that far, I guess it's possible to hear weird shit, but I think, whatever, it could be probably easily debunked. It's just very creepy.
But do they show it?
Question about Starliner. Houston's with you, Butch. Go ahead. The strange noise coming through the speaker, and I didn't know if you could connect into the Starliner and let me keep mic and let you hear. I don't know what's making it, but I don't know if it's something that maybe is connected between here and there, making that happen. But anyway, can you do that? We can configure that, Butch. Give us a minute, and I'll call you back when it's ready. Okay. Station Houston on 2. We're configured for audio via hardline and CST. If you want to give us a call. Okay, I'm in Starliner. 5x5. How many? Okay, I'm gonna keep the mic up next to the speaker.
One of the comments says, "Sir, can you put your seatbelt on and
negative,
see if the
Butch. We
ding
did
stops?"
not hear anything.
Oh, that's weird.
All right, Butch. That
because it's intervals. Because it's intervals.
Like a pulsing noise, almost like a sonar ping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll do it one more time, and I'll let y'all scratch your head to see if you can figure out what's going on. Here we go.
Maybe that's like a frequency that solar wind puts out, and it just reverberates on the whole of the
recording. Thanks, Butch.
Like maybe there's like an explanation to that. But that is fucking creepy.
Wouldn't they know the explanation though? That's their job to figure it out.
I mean, we're not that fucking advanced, I don't think, to really like it could be, but it could be anything. There could be a number of things, not anything, but I'm sure like off the top of an expert's head, they could probably think of a number of things that could cause something like that out that far, like in orbit, that could explain that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I think it's pretty unexplainable.
Do you believe it as being very, very weird, or do you believe it as being like, nah, it's probably easily explainable?
No, I think it's pretty fucking weird.
Pretty fucking weird, right? Yeah, I'm on that.
When the experts are confused about it, that's
yeah. But hey, about things that are we're familiar flying around in the air. This is pretty crazy. How I wonder like how none of this could just be like recycled or reused in some way.
Oh, when the aliens invade, they'll be recycling everything when everything gets destroyed, and the only thing left is the older technology.
So, I mean, like, is there a reason? Because, like, I could understand, like, archiving a couple of them just to have for, like, museum purposes, for, like, military history. But, like, all of them, it's like, is there a purpose to reuse them? You know what I mean? Like, what is the purpose to keep them in the grave? But I think they're graveyards. A lot of these things are sort of stripped. But you can't reuse like the aluminum on the outside or whatever it's made of, whatever metal. Why that many, bro? There's probably more than just that. That just looks like one Air Force graveyard. You know what I mean? There's probably a bunch.
Oh, I wanted to play where'd it go. Let's see if I can find it now. Hold on. History. I'm probably so deep into history. Oh my God. Okay.
What is it? Something you Googled like more than 3 days ago? You're never going to find it. It's gone, dude. No. It's lost. It's lost in the ether.
I think it is lost. I can't find it.
That's fucked up, bro.
Did you hear New Linkin Park?
I heard the new singers sing old Linkin Park songs. I was never really into Linkin Park. This is, if you're a Linkin Park fan, I don't know. Like, am I supposed to be happy for you? I want to be. Like, are you happy that you have a new lead singer? I don't even know. Are you a Linkin Park fan, Mike?
Okay, so I'm not a Linkin Park fan, but I like their first album, and that's it. That's it. I like their first album, and that's it. Literally.
Yeah, which is probably a lot of people's favorite. You know what I mean? Even though they did a lot of shit after that,
Yeah,
they
but
did
like
put out a lot of shit.
the only album I like is their first album. Everything else after that to me was kind of trash. But you know, to each their own, I guess.
It's just never I was into nu metal like up until like when they came out. I felt like it was very commercial at that point, and a lot of the nu metal bands that came out from when they came out and afterwards, I just never got into. I didn't hate Linkin Park, you know, and like R.I.P. Chester Bennington and everything. I have no ill will towards them. That's sad and everything. You know, I was a Chris Cornell fan and a Soundgarden fan and an Audio Slave fan. I love fucking Chris Cornell, and that's all sad and everything. But you know, like I just for the band, I just didn't have like a real, you know, like they're not in any playlists, and I didn't hate them or anything like that. But I did hear that they replaced them, and I brought myself back to 16-year-old me who would critique music, and if something like that happened, I might be like, meh. Like, I think when I was like 14 or 16, I thought Sammy Hagar singing for like Van Halen, even though by that point he had already been the lead singer for Van Halen for like a decade. By that point, I still felt like, oh, you know, it should still be David Lee Roth as the lead singer. You know, he's the real lead singer of Van Halen. And I'd still say stupid dick shit like that, even though Sammy Hagar is
back eventually. Didn't David Lee Roth go back eventually?
Yeah, and Hagar back, and they got the singer from the band who sings More Than Words. You know what I mean? Extreme, right? They got the lead singer of Extreme in the band. So they changed a lot of shit. But my point is that like I was a dick like that when I was 16. So maybe there's a lot of like young or like Linkin Park purists who probably don't like that. And there's probably a lot of people that don't like that she's female. Me personally, I don't care. You know what I mean? That's cool. If you're a Linkin Park fan and you like that, yo, fucking that's awesome. Because she's just going to be singing all of their old shit and you're going to be on tour and you get to go see them. You know, it's like I went to go see Pantera with the drummer from Anthrax and Zakk Wylde. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I still enjoyed myself. Whatever. If you're going to go see them, if you're going to go see them, good for you. And if you hate it, I don't know. I can't relate because I don't really have any sort of feelings for Linkin Park.
So this is from 1996, and it's going to be a little crazy.
It's the collapse, the dimensional collapse starting. Is it already starting?
It's already started.
With the sound and the color?
Okay. It's already started. Thank you for leading me here. What you're going to start hearing about in the very near future are something called rods. And they will be something that will be videotaped. And what you will see are large streaks just shooting through the air that are etheric, but are being able to be captured on tape. And what you're seeing is literally fourth and fifth dimensional craft moving through space, not having the slightest clue that they're flying right through us. Okay? And that's because you're beginning to see the implosion. It's great stuff.
Sounds like a Marvel movie.
And go.
Well, so we're not seeing what he's saying go through us and move, but we are seeing these weird tic tacs floating around.
Yeah, and orbs and shit. Yeah.
And the octopus. Remember the octopus core and the infrared camera thing? That was just not. It was weird ass.
Yeah, that like floating the jellyfish. Yeah. The jellyfish. Yeah.
Yes, you will see more ghosts, more apparitions, because those that are stuck between third and fourth density will start being more and more visible as our frequency starts to raise and rise. A lot of them, unless they are healed, and I do not know how to do that, how to set them free from their self-imposed prisons, will be exiting, transitioning.
I wish I could fast forward it. I still haven't finished the whole fucking thing.
Folks, be very careful about somebody who tells you they're an angel. For example, I've asked about the archangels, and the Andromedan perspective of that is that the archangel Michael was literally a fleet of craft that were called Mikael. That was the name of the fleet. And they used to patrol the northern hemisphere of the planet.
Oh, this ancient aliens. He's like talking some ancient alien shit.
Gabriel.
I've heard about this.
Was the name of another fleet of craft.
Well, because now people are starting to come out even more. Younger people, younger generations are saying, "Hey, wait, there's something here." Because the original scrolls that made the Bible and religion weren't talking about angels; they were talking about things in space. Talking about space. All these old documents.
or metaphors that could explain what they would understand space to be, or that they're within their primitive understanding how they could explain space to be. Like, yeah. Or like Anunnaki and shit.
Well, that's
so it's like, so think about it. It's like aliens is sort of like with the you know, like the engineers and shit like that. Like that's sort of that theory, right? Is this what he's like sort of getting at?
Sort of, but like there's. Then I found, and because of this video, I found this video, and this one also. It's like the same story being repeated by different people that researched and came to the same kind of conclusion.
What, aliens?
Well, this goes into the Bible, and what he was just talking about with Gabriel and Michael aren't actually.
Yeah, their fleets of alien spacecraft.
For more than 30 years, I've studied and taught through the book of Genesis many, many times in churches all around the world, and I've trained pastors in the skills of interpreting texts. And it's very clear they're not stories about gods. They're stories about the powerful ones in the Bible and the sky people, the Anunnaki in the Sumerian tablets.
So it always comes back to the Anunnaki.
But the thing is, I didn't know that was even mentioned in the same scrolls or text that they used to create the Bible. It was actually talking about that.
Look at it this way. Look at it this way. The name of the Hebrew, the name of God in Hebrew, the name Yahweh comes from Mesopotamia, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of these stories, the Great Flood story is a Mesopotamian also story as well, along with like ancient Sumerian like story. They had a flood story too, and other civilizations had flood stories. And there's a lot of other stories that are like, you know, like sort of legends. And a lot of people in the biblical sense came from that part of the world. And a lot of those traditions came from that part of the world and then went west towards the like places that we know now as like Israel and Palestine and Jordan and fucking Syria and shit. Like they moved west like much later on. But a lot of that stuff happened back then. And it's like, if you think about it, how far we've come in 100 years, but 5,000 years ago, how far back we were, and how you explain, how do you explain aliens to that, you know, education level? You know what I mean? And I think they tried to do it in poetry because that's the only way that they knew how to. So they would use metaphor to say, like, this is how we explain it. We know eagles can fly and they can. So it's like, we're just going to call them like the eagle people or some shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, you feel me? You know what I mean? Like I just feel like they're gonna try to explain it in the best way that they can, and it's gonna sound like ridiculous, like, you know, like comic book stories. But it's like, you know, maybe there's a reason why all that happened. Maybe there's a reason why humanity advanced as fast as they did after life being on this planet for hundreds of millions of years, just only evolved to a certain like stagnant level. Like maybe before primates, there were other, you know, intelligent beings that were just like maybe almost got to primate level, but then just didn't make it and just like recessed into evolution. But like the primates sort of jumped in evolution way quicker than any other animal on the planet has, you know? And it's like, maybe it was engineered. Maybe we were engineered, but now we're like way, like if we were engineered, we are still right now like generations so far away from that, to where look at how stupid everybody still is. You know what I mean? It's like the more things change, the more they stay the same. You know that, like that saying, you know, it's like, how do you explain the idiocracy of society now around the world? It's not just in the United States. You can't just blame America for being stupid. Do you see how stupid people are? You know, like there are people who are stupid in Europe and Asia and the Middle East and stuff like that. And it's just like some people are reckless, you know, and the reckless rich live everywhere around the world. So it's like, you know, you can't just blame one person for how shit is nowadays. But like as far as like we could make nuclear energy, but then you also have, you know, reality TV. So you know, like there is a balance of stupid to smart. So we're not that advanced. But what made us get to this point of advancement, though, which is still pretty fucking funny, because to go from like horse and carriage to nuclear in 200 years is pretty fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Just shortly after people started discovering.
Look at the things that we saw come to light, like internet and cell phones. I remember before internet, or at least public internet for the World Wide Web, or a cell phone. I didn't know what a cell phone was when I was a kid. I wanted a beeper. I didn't want a cell phone. I wanted a beeper.
Yeah, I knew what a cell phone was when my stepdad used one from work. So I knew what it was, but it was like, even by then, it was like such a fucking, it was like a coveted item. Like you couldn't
saw it
touch
in movies. You get one in your car.
If we tried to dial numbers on it, we would get barked at. There was no touching that phone because of how expensive it was and how expensive the plan was and all that shit. You know what I mean? And it was a crazy thing to have one. I didn't have one until like the early aughts. So I was a beeper guy up until the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Same.
But I don't know, dude. Alien people. It's like maybe sometimes, dude. I don't know. Nowadays, it's so fucking weird. You know,
it's like we still don't know who, what, where we are. In those,
dude,
in that order, kind of.
I'm thinking sim. I'm really starting to think simulation. And I tell you why. There's something that I realized, right? And it's like every time I have a car, or I'm driving like the car, and then even if I like sell that car and get a new car or buy a new car, or whatever, I'm driving a new car. For some reason, and I don't know if it's in my brain because I play so many video games, I really do feel like the Grand Theft Auto thing happens, where it's the car that you're driving spawns everywhere around you, and maybe it's like you notice. In all honesty, like if I'm driving a Honda Civic, or if I'm driving a fucking a Bentley or some shit, it's like if I'm in the Honda Civic, it's like that Honda Civic, and most likely that exact color, right? Because I had a blue Honda Civic for a while. And I just started seeing other same blue Honda Civics, not the same year, but just all different random years. But blue Honda Civics just all popping up around me, just spawning up around the highway and shit. And it's like now, you know what I mean? I just traded in my old car that I used to see every so often in different random colors, and then the car that we just got now. It's like we had it for a week, and now I'm only seeing that, like the car that we drive in that specific color, and I'm like. Nothing makes me feel more like I'm in the simulation than that. Nothing else. Like, nothing else as much as that. Like, everything else I sort of... Like, even if this is fake in some weird fucking... We're in some hibernation chamber, like, attached to a battery power apparatus for, like, an alien civilization. If that's fucking true, right? Everything else is pretty fucking spot on, but the one thing that fucks with me the most is exactly that. The car spawn.
Weird. Well, there's people that don't have cars, and there's no spawning for them.
But the Anunnaki thing, I'm not too fucking hot on. Like, I'm really hot and cold with it. I like the whole, like, dude, I like the Alien franchise and that idea of, like, having engineers that, like, fucking fuck with shit, but fuck with shit bad, too. Like, they make, like... You know, like the alien species, and they also fuck with humans and shit like that. But, you know, Anunnaki, like being here, like it's fun. Okay. It is very fun to explain a lot of ancient shit away as that. Because then it's like, yes, we're taking the comic book route. Like, oh, it's like, or maybe Thor was different, a different god to different, you know, cultures. You know what I mean? And maybe like you know, like Hades was a different god in different cultures, and maybe they were all the same kind of gods or these special alien creatures. But it's like, oh, that's great and all, but we're still like deifying like an individual, even if we're not making them human and from this earth. It's like, yeah, if you even by saying aliens, you're still deifying, and that's and the whole one omnipotent creature god is not something that I could still espouse to. I'm still more of like a Force kind of guy than an Anunnaki kind of guy. You know what I mean?
Reading about it, yeah, it's weird.
Or maybe the Anunnaki are bad guys, bro. Maybe we were a slave race and we don't fucking
That's
need
what
them.
they think. That's sort of.
You know, oh shit. All right, let's see. Who would I start for next week? Dobbins, Brian Robinson, Rashid Rice. Rice did pretty good, didn't he? Hold on, I'll tell you right now. I think Rashid Rice actually put up fucking some numbers today, didn't he? Do you have him on your team, Mike? I think you do. I think you lost, but
Hey, it's not over yet.
I sort of like Rashid Rice.
I'm in the lead, even though I have 100. I have 110 points, and they still have a player.
Did Rashid Rice fucking? I think Rashid Rice probably put up have one running back.
I don't have Rashid Rice. I have
A flex. I'm not too familiar with. Okay, maybe Dobbins. Is he even active?
Dobbins got me 28 points.
Yeah, I'd start Dobbins and Rice, I think. Since you said you have one running back spot and a flex spot, that's what I would do.
I mean, that's a pretty good play. He got 28 points today.
Not Brian Robinson. You could keep him benched.
Yeah,
I would, yeah, but I would trust those two guys to actually repeat in week 2. And that's my opinion. But don't go by me. I'm only champ in one league, and you're talking to champ in the other league, and that guy auto drafts. So you know what I mean? Like, I like. Also, don't go by me because I'm also like,
Yo, it's hilarious.
I'm not a fantasy novice. I've been playing fantasy football since 2000. I think 2003 was 2004 was the first fantasy league I joined.
I'm at work, and I work with one of the teammates, Steve. He's not teammates. He's in the league.
Yeah, he's in our league. Yeah.
And I'm in the elevator. He starts like trying to talk shit to me, and I'm like, bro, I don't even know who's playing. He goes, wait, you're not watching the game tonight? He goes, bro, I don't even know who I have on my team. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't. It's all names and numbers to me. I don't watch any of the games.
And you're gonna abuse the auto pick. You're gonna abuse the auto lineup, right? You're just gonna do that all season.
So a guy I work with is like, let me see your team since you don't fucking pay attention to what you're doing. He looks and he goes, you mean to tell me you don't pay attention to what you're doing and this is your team? Jesus Christ, man. He's like, you got some good players. I was like, yeah, best available.
And the thing is, I'll tell you what, when you're at the end of a draft cycle and you get a back-to-back, or if you're pick 1 and then you get the first pick, but then you got to wait like 20 picks until you get a back-to-back, that back-to-back is cool because you sort of cock block motherfuckers from another pick. Like you would have a pick, and then there'd be breathing room, and then somebody else could make a decision and then have an availability. You block somebody from availability for 2 guys in one move, and that's what benefits you. So you can get 2 players of equal value, so you can get the same kind of wide receiver as you can a running back as far as reliability in the same move, which is pretty fucking sick. In my other league, I had the 3rd spot, so I was still able to get Tyreek Hill, but on the wraparound, I had to wait 4 picks in between, which isn't bad, and I did pretty good, and I'm crushing in that league right now. So the champ is here. I'm the champ in that league. Yeah, did I mention that?
Yeah,
I'm the champ in that league.
Yes, you did.
I don't want anybody to forget that. I bought my own trophy last year.
Didn't I do that one year? When we rented the house. I don't know if you were there. In the first year I won, we rented a house around New Year's in Hunter.
Yeah.
And I brought the WWE trophy. And I was like,
I remember.
And I also auto drafted that year too, by the way.
That was the first fantasy season that we had together in the Ass Hat League.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Ass Hat League too. I deleted that league. I was sad, but I deleted that league because that's the original league. Yeah,
I think I did too.
Yeah, I deleted it, but
I think I did.
Yeah, the last name I had for that league, I still read it. I was like, I still had it the whole last season when it was even a dead league.
Wow.
Yeah, that was sad. That was a sad league because that league was fun. I wish we I wish we had a couple of those fucking
Yeah,
that we're gonna be with this weekend coming up. Some of those guys we're gonna be with this weekend coming up. But I wish we I wish we had a couple of those fucking that we're gonna be with this weekend coming up. Some of those guys we're gonna be with this weekend. We'll talk about this weekend coming up on the next episode, Wednesdays at 9:30. That we're gonna be with this weekend coming up. Some of those guys this weekend. We'll talk about this weekend coming up on the next episode, Wednesdays at 9:30. That we're gonna be with.